Yo, what's good, guys? What's good, everybody? Nice to have you guys in the building with us. As you guys know, guys, we're gonna be getting into some trading plan stuffs, guys. Some trading plan stuffs. You guys know that, yep, the secret of getting ahead is getting started, and that's what we're gonna be getting into today, guys. So I think we'll just give it a couple of seconds just so people can join us in the building. Um, there we go. Awesome. So guys, as well as I see Mlondi saying, please save the video. Definitely, the video will be saved, guys. The video will be saved. You guys will be able to go and watch this afterwards. So yeah, don't stress, guys. Don't stress. You guys will definitely have it. So hopefully you guys already have your guys' hard copies of your trading plan, because I'm just gonna be referencing from the book itself. So yeah, I'd like you guys to kind of just go through it as well with me, just so that we can do the things to be done, guys. So like you guys understand, we're getting into some trading plan stuff, guys, today. So we're gonna go through, guys, what are the important elements of your trading plan? What should you have, excuse me, inside of your trading plan? Because this trading plan, aside from it being excuse me. So let me just get this done. Guys, aside from our trading plan basically just being for trading as well as just a trading plan, this is basically our guide, guys. This is our guide, and this is going to give us such an insight into our own psyche. What type of account do you use on Veracity and why? Unfortunately, we will just stick to questions kind of more related towards our trading plan, just so that we keep on the topic. And then I also sort you guys out with relevant information that's also relevant to today's topic. So definitely do, guys, have your questions coming, because I will be reading them. I will be following up. But let's try and keep the questions more related to our trading plan, just so that we develop and we move forward with this. So guys, the first element that you guys want to have inside of your trading plan, we have it here titled Knowing Myself and My Purpose, guys. And so reason being is because more than anything, guys, you want to get insight into yourself, because who's going to be taking those trades at the end of the day? It's yourself. It's that person that that makes you cross by blowing an account, and whoever that guy. So you need to understand that person, the person that you're entrusting to execute and to manage and to do whatever. You need to learn about that guy. Even a business themselves, when they hire, for example, a manager or whoever they're hiring, they hire and they understand who they're hiring first. They don't just hire. And with a trader, remember, this is a business at the end of the day. And so we need to have, let me just make sure that my phone is charging, guys, just so that we don't get rudely interrupted halfway through. Let's just double check that. Let me just make sure, guys. Yeah, cool. Just so that we all set, we don't get cut off halfway through the session. Just making sure that we're charging. So, guys, you want to understand the person that you're hiring to do the job for you, and that's also part of this trading plan. This trading plan is there to give you insight into yourself, insight into the individual that you're entrusting to make those decisions. Um, Okay, cool. Do I find the trading plan on the Forex Chasers community on the website? So directly underneath your module 6, within the 3.0 course, you'll find your copy of the trading plan. That's for sure in the 3.0. Yeah, guys. So we're gonna get into knowing yourself and your purpose, and the kind of the main topics that you want to get in. I'm gonna go through this whole trading plan, or well, most of it, and we're gonna read basically what are the elements within this trading plan. So our first section, like we said, guys, is knowing myself and my purpose. Why do you look broke? I am broke, dude. I'm broke. I'm broke. I'm broke as hell. I'm broke as hell. That's kind of why. Awesome question. Awesome question. So question number one, guys, going into back into the trading plan, is why do you want to be a trader? Lizanne is saying, "Don't be so nasty." It's cool. It's cool. It's cool. We leave those things to the side. We leave those things to the side, because at the end of the day, when someone else is saying X, Y, and Z, on my side, I'm focused, guys. I'm just moving in one direction. Anything that's coming on left or right, that's not swaying me, guys. That's not swaying me. So We just keep moving forward. We keep the momentum going. So the first question that we have, guys, is why do you want to be a trader? You want to know exactly your why, because your why is important. You've heard Lisiba stressing about the why. You've heard Funny Lucky stressing about the why, because the why is damn important, and the why is that thing that's going to keep you going in during your periods of drawdown, during your periods of wherever. That's what's going to keep you going, guys. Your why. So you want to understand, why do you want to be a trader? Number two, second question that you need to have, guys, is what kind of a trader are you? And I'm not talking about maybe a scalper or swing trader or whatever. Yes, you can include that, because this trading plan is for you. And when you review it at a later, looks can be deceiving. When you review your trading plan at a later stage in time, this trading plan is going to give you insight as to how were you thinking before. Because remember that the person that you were before is not the same person that you are today. That person that you were yesterday, you are a totally different person today. You have new knowledge, new experiential knowledge. You make decisions slightly differently than you made them before, just because you've grown, you've developed, you've advanced. So what kind of a trader are you? And here I'm trying to go into, do you make decision? How's your decision making process like? Are you making those? Are you good at making those discretionary choices, or are you someone that needs a structured system for you to be able to follow something consistently? That's what we're talking. What kind of a trader are you? Are you a trader that will make those discretionary choices, or are you a trader that needs that systematic approach so that you can have those? Do you also keep a trading journal? Yes, I do. So at the last page of our actual trading plan is our trading journal. So this is a daily journal, a daily position journal. But aside from the daily position journal, because I don't journal daily, I journal weekly, and I do that ASR, advanced self reflection, or whatever that's called. Who knows? But nonetheless, I do still review my trades, and I do still review every Friday. That's when I go back and I still review everything that I've been through for the whole week, what I was taking, what my biases were. Because remember, growth doesn't stop. Even if you feel like you got it all together, there's someone that's got it all together just a little bit more than you do. So you need to keep pushing. You need to still keep the ball rolling, keep the momentum going, guys. So the third part of our trading plan, guys, is what are my strengths and weaknesses? And the reason why this question is here is not just so that you can identify, okay, that this is my strength, this is my weakness. This is also so that the next question says, how will I work on my strengths and weaknesses? And that's what this is for. I'll just read you guys a snippet of what I have here. Okay, let me not read. Let me rather give you an example. Let me not read from my own trading plan. So, what are my strengths and weaknesses, guys? For example, maybe your strength is that you're very systematic. You follow those systems, you whatever. And then maybe your weakness is that you make too much when you add too much discretion into your trading, things go wrong. And so that's what strengths and weaknesses are there for. So that when you're going into this trading plan and you're actually writing down whatever you're going to be writing down, you've identified what your strengths are. So your trading plan is going to work on those strengths. If you are good at following systems, structured systems, then that's what your trading plan should be involved with. Your trading plan should reinforce and work on all of those strengths that you have. And then obviously the weaknesses is what you're working towards solving. So what do I have here? Let's answer number 4. So number 4, guys, I have here, how will I work on my strengths and weaknesses? And simply my answer to that on my own trading plan is my dedication to this trading plan is my way of acknowledging my strengths, and this plan will be structured for me to always function within my strengths. My trading plan will also include guidelines and rules that will make me improve on my weaknesses. So that's exactly what you're doing here. You're just basically identifying your strengths, identifying your weaknesses, making sure that what's inside of your trading plan is working on your strengths. If you work well, I guess maybe in a community, in the space of like a lot of people. Oh, guys, I'm feeling a bit hot. Let me just take this off. Sorry about this, guys. There we go. Awesome. Okay, cool. I feel like we've kind of exhausted how much we can talk about our strengths and weaknesses. So point number 5 under knowing myself and my purpose is, what healthy headspace do I need to be in when you approach trading? So the reason why this question is here is so that you can identify that headspace. And then number 6, obviously, we go into how will I ensure that I'm in this headspace as often as possible. So now that you've identified that headspace, that clear headspace, for example, if you answered your number 5 and said that I need to be in a clear, calm, okay, well, I'm literally reading here. I need to be in a clear, calm, and decisive headspace. I need to be confident, and I need to be fully alert and aware of both the marketplace and myself. Now that you've answered that question and you've said what healthy headspace you need to be in, how are you going to consistently try and be inside of that headspace? Now, mindfulness will be my daily practice. I'll always introspect while I'm going through my processes. Every time I realize and become aware of self-talk, I will cultivate the habit of stepping back to assess the self-talk and the marketplace, and as well as use logic and reason to align myself. So I know how exactly what headspace I need to be in when I'm approaching trading. And I've also answered to myself, how will I ensure that I'm in that headspace as often as possible? I did see some questions. Um, will we be able to ask open-ended questions? Yeah, go ahead, go ahead. We'll do that. We'll do that. Um, Trey, will you be saving this live? Definitely, yeah. It's gonna be saved. It's definitely gonna be saved. I'm also learning and willing to join as soon as things are well on my side. Hey, bro, that decision making is one of the most important things in life, especially trading. That's the job of a trader, man, to make decisions. And your job is just to make a few high quality decisions in a day. We're not exchanging our time for money. Like people that work a 9 to 5, they're exchanging their time for money. On our hand, where our money comes from is I guess just how important or how valuable that decision that you made was. If your decision was backed up by good reasoning and whatever, then that one decision in the day can make you money that you wouldn't see if you were exchanging your time for money, because you only have 24 hours in a day. And so exchanging time for money is never going to work, because you'll never get more than 24 hours of pay per day. So you kind of very well limited. If you Yeah, guys, please do excuse me. I am a little bit sick. It's not Rona. It's not the Rona. Bro, I'm serious about the trading plan. Will change my life. Awesome. Let's go back into the trading plan. So number 7, guys, is what are my income targets? Remember, we're still trying to understand myself and my purpose. So what are your income targets? You just gotta probably write that down here. And remember, these are not your income targets that are related to life. This is your trading plan. So all of your income targets should be related to trading. What are my annual trading goals? That's our next question. What are my monthly trading goals? So you're basically breaking down the goals. I see David is saying he's in the building. What's up, Mr. Mpite? Nice to have you, dude. Number 10 are what are my weekly trading goals, and then obviously what are my daily trading goals. So you're basically establishing that what do we call it, that goal, that financial goal for yourself. And then what you're doing then after is just breaking down the goal, obviously, so that things can be a lot more realistic. Because yes, I want to make 10 million this month or whatever the case is, but if I'm not going to break down that goal, it's going to be very difficult, because if I don't make that 10 million, which is my income target or whatever the case is, then I'm going to feel a little bit discouraged as I keep going on and whatever the case is. So excuse me. So what you're basically doing is you're breaking down the goals as small as possible so that you can achieve these goals and feel good about yourself and keep the momentum going. Bro, how many max of trades do you take per week? So it basically just depends, because I'm trying to swing more than I am trying to scalp. It basically just depends on the week itself. But most in a week is maybe five, maybe five. Least in a week is zero. So most in a week is probably going to be 5 positions. Cool. So now, guys, once we've understood, basically our first section was knowing myself and my purpose. Once we've understood ourselves and our purpose in trading, we then need to go on to what are our tools of the trade. So question number 1 under tools of the trade is, which brokers will I use to trade? The reason why this question is here is because you can use any broker. The brokers are all the same in terms of what they do, they're functioning, they're this, they're that, they're all the same. But when you're selecting a broker, you need to select a broker that makes sense to how you're trading and the processes that you have. If you're a scalper, and for example, let's just say if you're a scalper, right, and you're with a broker that charges you on spreads and not commissions, and your stop losses are 4 and 5 pips, does that make sense? Probably not, because the spread is going to take you out if you're selling a position and you're scalping, because the spread is kind of big. And then obviously what's conducive for you as a scalper is to find a broker that can give you an account that has or that charges commissions, or they call it a ECN. Some people call it a fixed. Some brokers call it a zero spread, whatever the case is. So when you're selecting a broker, you need to select a broker that's conducive for whatever you're doing, because trading is purely subjective. You can do it however. There's a lot of ways to kill this cat. So you need to get a broker that obviously aligns with whatever you are doing in the market. If you're swinging, then it's okay to get a broker that charges spreads, for example, and maybe not commission or something of that nature. Let's kill US30 today. We're not trading US30 today this side. Or at least I'm not. Or at least I'm not. I don't know about the other guys. But number two, guys, which trading platform will I use to execute my trades? And obviously, I have that very simple, my MT4 platform. There's obviously other platforms like C Trader, whatever, all those other things. But also define the platform that you're going to use to execute your trades. Why do you guys use Rand and not dollars as base currency? So I personally absolutely hate ZAR accounts. I don't use any ZAR accounts. I've moved away from that thing. I don't use ZAR accounts. And the reason why I don't use ZAR accounts is because to do simple maths in my head and just know 0.01 at a 10 pip stop loss is $1. So if you have a ZAR account, it's much more difficult to do that simple maths in your head to kind of get to a conclusion. Like to know that if you're wrong, like maybe you expected to only lose $5 on this trade and now you're seeing you in a drawdown of 6, you can identify that easier if, for example, your base currency or you're trading in a dollar account. You can do that simple math in your head. Why is Veracity registered? When I check them on FSCA, it doesn't show. I think Veracity is registered with FSCA. They do have their licenses, that's for sure. They do have their licenses. So you have money. I guess everyone has money, dude. There's always someone that's gonna have more than I have, and so what I have is absolutely nothing. There's always someone that's gonna have less than what I have, so it doesn't really even matter. Everyone's just on their own lane, dude. If to you a lot of money is buying a Lambo, then that's it. If to you a lot of money is moving your mom out of the house that she's been staying in for years, then that's it. It's just subjective, dude. Get the things out of your head that trading is one. It's all subjective. Everything is just subjective, guys. Everything is just subjective. I need some advice. How do you grow a small account from 150 into 1,000 a week? If you're not skillful in what you're doing, then it's probably not gonna work. Where's Don't Mess With Me? He's here, guys. He's here. But he's analyzing the market, doing his own thing. Registered with Veracity because you said so. I have an ECN dollar hours. That's dope. That's dope. So guys, now that we obviously understood, we're going into the tools of the trade. So which trading platform will I use to execute my trades? Define that, because you want everything in your trading to be defined, everything to be written down. The more subjective and the more undefined your things are, the more you open them into your own personal discretion and all of those extra things, which you don't want to do. You want your trading to be as systematic as possible so that you can replicate the process. Why ECN and not a standard? So I just explained to you guys why ECN and not a standard. So I was saying that it depends on what you are doing with the account. If you're going to be swinging and whatever the case is, then it doesn't make sense for you to prioritize an ECN over a standard, because a standard is perfectly fine for a swinger. But if you're going to be scalping and your stop loss is going to be 4 and 5 pips and whatever, then a standard account doesn't make sense. You need to get an ECN. I actually would like to know the difference. We did generally discuss the difference. So number 3, guys, which software and charting providers will I use to view the instruments that I trade? So basically we use TradingView. So that's my charting provider. I even know that for my charts, my service, my charting provider, I use Oanda. I don't use FXCM and whatever the case is. I use Oanda to be consistent with everything that I'm doing. Please extend the special unit until month end. Right now it's only until the 20th. But definitely, let me give you a secret. Go and DM them, guys. Go on your Instagram and DM the Forex Chasers and tell them that you guys want another extension. That's probably the simplest thing. Guys, so I have a 200 Rand account to start with. Is it enough to start learning what should be my realistic target in terms of profits per week? So your realistic target is anything less than doubling that account, because risk management, dude, risk management. And there's no way that you're going to leave it. If you leave risk management now, you're going to come back to it later. Cool. So let's move on to the next element within our trading plan. So we've discussed knowing ourselves and our emotions. We've discussed the tools of the trade. Now we need to discuss what do we do before the market opens. Because remember, we need to have a pre-market routine, something that we go through before the market actually opens. So first question is, what is my weekly analysis routine? Guys, you need to have that weekly analysis routine that you do, whether it's on a Friday after the markets have closed, Saturday or Sunday, but you need to prepare yourself before the market actually opens to understand where are the pairs that you're looking at, where could they be going, all of that nice good stuff. So establish that weekly analysis routine. Number two, what is my daily pre-market routine? Now remember, every trader, whether they a scalper, whether they're a swinger, whatever the case is, every single day they're approaching the markets fresh with a fresh eye. So they need to have a pre-market analysis routine. What time do you start looking at markets? What pairs do you look at? How do you okay, that's future. So just determine a pre-market analysis routine. So what are you going to do? Which time frames are you going to look at every day? Obviously, if you look at the weekly time frame on a Sunday, you can't look at the weekly time frame during the week because the weekly is not going to give you that information. You've already done your weekly analysis and now your focus is on executing and getting into that position. So that's why you need to have that pre-market routine as well. I see Leslie saying, "What's up, dog? It's been a while." Leslie, I haven't seen you in ages, dude. It's so nice to see you in the building, man. Um, let's just make sure my PC is still on, just so my phone is still charging. I see, hi Tremaine, do you only focus on currency pairs? So I look at US 30 and occasionally I look at the VIX 75 and VIX. But currencies is my circle of competence. That's what I mainly look at. That's what I look at forever because there's so much for me to learn there. There's just too much for me to learn there. When drawing your trend lines, do you use candle bodies or do you just use the wicks? So I use wicks. We've been taught buy high, sell low. So where's the high on a candlestick? That's the wick. So I use the wicks. Phil is saying the wicks. So three, have I reviewed yesterday's trades? This is within your trading plan, guys. You need to always, even your trading plan should redirect you into the processes that are going to be difficult for you. If you don't review yesterday's trades the next day that you're trading, then I guess maybe yesterday had something to teach you. So you need to review your trades when you're going into the following trading week. Maybe market yesterday was just choppy and today you're getting back into that chop and it's just going to be a bad day because you didn't wait to see, you didn't analyze, you didn't think about what the market conditions were yesterday and you're just jumping in today. So number three, have I reviewed my yesterday's trades? Bad English, but yeah. So number four, do I have any trades open from the previous trading day? And obviously, this question is here to make you realize that if you do, then you need to be managing those trades appropriately. I see Lizanne is asking, Dixon is asking, please can you upload the trading plan after the live session? The trading plan is underneath, in the 3.0, underneath your module 6, that's where you'll find the trading plan. Lizanne is asking, is Lisiba doing okay? Lisiba's a soldier and a half, man. He's 100%. He's standing on his feet. He's good to go. He's about to make more money. Wait, do you trade on Fridays? I hear that that's one day when there's not much activity in the markets. Yeah, Fridays generally have lower trading volumes, but it doesn't really scare me. Like I probably wouldn't get into a swing on Friday because I can't hold my swing on my prop firm accounts. But on my own account, I definitely get into a swing on a Friday. And if I'm getting into a trade on Friday, then it's just probably a day trade or a scalp. I'm not getting into a swing on a Friday. Yeah. So what are the general market conditions? This is number 5, guys, within our basically understanding or what we're doing before the market opens, guys, our pre-market routine. So what are the general market conditions that I do and don't trade? You need to have that as well. Do you trade the chop? Do you trade the impulses? What do you trade and what don't you trade? If you've never thought about it, go back and think about it because it's gonna gift you. It's gonna gift you guys. It's gonna save you guys a lot of money because in addition to know when to get into the market, you need to know when to not get into the market, and that's what that question is gonna make you realize. Question is gonna make you realize that okay, cool. My strategy is most conducive for trending markets. So when market is stuck in a chop, that's the time that I should not be involving myself. Why? Because there's no real direction, and the way that I trade, I get those RR in trending markets. Let's just see questions you ask yourself before taking a trade and after taking it. We're gonna get into that. I think it's part of our trading plan as well, but kind of structured or worded differently. What time of the day is the best time to enter a trade in South Africa? Can I trade at night or afternoon, which is more preferable? PS, I work a 9 to 5. So when it comes to times of the day, I stay out of Asian sessions, so I don't trade in the evenings or wherever. I just trade New York and London. So basically, I start looking at the market at 9. I stop executing trades at 7 p.m. with the exception of NZD CAD and AUD CAD. Those two pairs I allow myself to execute after 7 p.m. But I don't execute after 11 or just before 11, just before the spreads open. So I guess there's no exact time, because if you're trading the way you should be trading, you execute when the setup that you're looking for presents itself. If you have a system, or if you have a process that's governed by time, like for example, maybe you know that you're trading German 30 at 9 a.m., then you're trading US 30 at half past 3. If you have a system that's governed by time like that, then obviously there's a good time and there's a time that you should be executing a trade. But if your trade is not, if your system is not governed by time, then there's no direct time where you should be entering the market. You should enter whenever you see your criteria kind of presenting itself. I see Luane is asking, what leverage do you advise? 1:500 is an okay leverage for any account size. If you can't open a trade with 1:500 leverage, then your capital is too little. So number 6, guys, what will I do hour by hour? So this is daily. So you're structuring your day. Basically, I'm going to look at the markets this time. This is the time that I'm going to start reviewing my trades. This is the time that I'm going to start doing this. This is the time that I'm going for a walk. This is the time I'm doing this. This is the time I'm doing that. Number 7, guys, what instruments are on my daily and weekly watch list? Please, guys, stop trading everything and everything. Stop trading everything and anything. Let's define our things. Let's start to laser focus now. Let's start to laser focus. It's okay to generalize, especially when you're first starting out. Generalize so that you get as much experiential knowledge as possible. But once you start to get that experiential knowledge, guys, at that point you need to start specifying and you need to start laser focusing. So define the pairs and the instruments and the whatevers that you're going to be trading. If you told yourself that I'm not trading VIX 75, don't go trade VIX 75 now because you saw someone else on Instagram made $300 or 1.7 US dollars or whatever the case is. Stick to your circle of competence, because your circle of competence is the thing that's going to make you money. You shouldn't be going to where you see other people making money, because grass is not always greener on the other side. And I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen people making money here and there, and when you jump there, you only end up blowing. So the grass is not always greener on the other side, guys. Just stick to your circle of competence, define the pairs and the instruments that you're going to be trading, and stick with those, guys, because I can guarantee you that if you stick with those, you'll get such a in-depth understanding of just the nature of that pair, how that pair moves. You'll begin to see that, okay, cool, yes, I've been trading every double top, but when a double top looks like this, that's when I shouldn't be trading. Or when a double top looks like this, that's when my highest probabilities are there. You only get to know those things once you're really involved in the market and you're getting that experiential knowledge. And unfortunately, you can't do that if your focus is spread everywhere. So we'll go on to the next element, guys, of our trading plan, and that's our process of analysis and forecasting. So if you think about how our trading plan is structured the exact same way that you would trade. So when you're going into the markets, you're there before the markets, you're there after the markets open, you're obviously analyzing, and then you're forecasting, and then you're executing, and then you're managing, and then you're reviewing. That's how our trading plan is structured. The exact same system that you follow every day, that's what should be defined in your trading plan, guys. So what is our process of analysis and forecasting? Question number 1, guys, what is my analysis process that I follow weekly and daily? You need to define that, define the time frames that you're using, define what you're doing on those time frames. When I'm doing my weekly analysis, I'm only looking at the daily and the 4-hour. What I'm looking for on the daily is some structure and obviously a directional bias. What I'm looking at on the 4-hour is for those chart patterns. So I'm looking for my important resistance, I'm looking for my ascending structures, my whatever. Define the time frames, define what you are using those time frames for, both from a weekly perspective and a daily perspective. Let me just double check that my phone is still charging, because I seriously don't want it to cut us. What time frames do I use for analysis? That obviously references our first question. So bro, as a swing trader, how many times do you check the trade that you've entered? If I enter on the 5 minutes, then I probably watch the 5-minute chart. If I entered on the H1, then I probably watch the H1 chart. So whatever chart I entered on, I will either manage my trade or watch my trade as that time frame is developing, or one time frame higher. I'm never managing, I'm never whatevering. Like for example, if I enter on an H1, doesn't make sense for me to go down on a 15-minute and see prices impulsing back up if I sold. No, it's just a 15-minute chart, guys. It's just a 15-minute chart, and my confirmation was on the H1. So whatever the time frame I enter on, that's the time frame that I usually manage my positions. And obviously, if you enter on a 1-hour chart, you only really need to look at the chart every 1 hour or every 4 hours to manage that trade. Yeah. So, what is my process for forecasting? You're obviously going to define that. What do you do when you're forecasting? In my forecast, I only look for two things. I only just look for a point of interest and an identifiable call to action. So, when I'm forecasting, my process of forecasting is very simple. Identify resistance, put a line there, and put a line away from that resistance. Done. Going into, I'm looking for an ascending. I don't know how the market is going to deliver that price action. All I need to know for my process of forecasting is where do I want to enter and what is going to give me a reason when price gets into that zone, what is going to give me a reason to execute on that position. That's all you need for forecasting. Just your direction, identifiable call to action. So we're going to go on to the next element, guys, which is our risk and money management. So question number one is, what is my attitude towards risk? Please go and define it, because people have different attitudes towards risk. You'll find out that someone wants to see big numbers. They want to risk 5, 10, 20% of their account. And that's okay. If that is your risk tolerance that you've defined, don't let no one else tell you otherwise. Just remember that maybe it's not conducive as it is trading 1 or 2%, maybe 3%, maybe 4% maximum risk of your capital. Maybe it's not as conducive for long-term trading as it is trading a smaller risk percentage. But nonetheless, define what your attitude towards risk is. Number two, what is my maximum risk exposure? So you want to define, I guess, just your maximum risk exposure. What total amount do you need to lose of your whole capital to realize that whatever you're doing needs a review? Do you need to lose 10% of your account for you to stop trading and realize that, okay, maybe I'm in a period of drawdown, or this, maybe I need to go and review something about my trading plan? Do you need to lose 50% of your account for you to call it pause? Because let's not say call it quits. To pause and then basically just review your processes. So you need to define your maximum exposure. Number three, guys, what is my maximum risk exposure per instrument traded? So for every position that you're going to open on Euro JPY, how much do you want to risk on Euro JPY per trade? Because remember, per trade, I'm not going to say per position, I'm going to say per trade, because you can have one position with 3 trades open, I guess risking, maybe you can say 0.33, 0.33, 0.33, and that's your 1% risk. So you're going to determine your risk per instrument. Number four, guys, and where's he? I think is he in the building? Mac, are you in the building? Because this has been our conversation for a while now. Number four, guys, what is my software and hardware risk management? Guys, did you know that you need to manage your risk for software and hardware? For example, when you are trading and load shedding just hits you, because you stay in South Africa, maybe like me, load shedding just hits you and now there's no power. Do you have a plan that you can still be able to close or manage that trade even though there's an issue that arises? So what is your software and hardware risk management? If your broker decides, or if something like JP Markets happens and your broker is closed for whatever reason, or do you have another broker that you can still continue to trade with? What is your software and hardware risk management? Number five, guys, what is my strategy risk management procedure? So this goes back to that question where you're asking yourself, what is my total risk tolerance? So obviously this strategy risk management procedure is obviously when I reach this percentage of a drawdown, then I need to review my processes. I need to review my system because something is not working. Something is not working. Remember, the one thing that you can bet will tell you whether what you're doing is working or not is your account balance. If your account balance is going down, then it obviously means no matter how much you feel like you're okay, you learned this new order block concept, you feel like you're good, you see those trades, maybe sometimes you don't enter. If your account balance is going down, that just means that whatever you're doing, because remember, your account balance is going down because you've executed a trade and you've managed that trade and you've exited that trade. That means that something within your process, maybe of analysis, maybe of forecasting, but somewhere in there, something is wrong because obviously your account balance is not showing that whatever you're doing is working. So, yeah. Guys, now we're going to go into the next element, which is specific risk management. And that's basically what are the probabilities of a successful trade. And that kind of a thing you'll only know after you backtest. So this trading plan is now forcing you to go and do more work and go and backtest so that you understand what the probabilities of a successful trade are for you and the processes that you have. Number two, guys, what is my risk to reward ratio? Now, it obviously differs for everyone. I can say trade with a 1:3 risk to reward ratio, but anything can be profitable. Obviously, it depends on your win rate. If you have your win rate. I thought I used the wrong word. Depends on your win rate. If your win rate is high, then you can have a slightly smaller average risk to reward ratio. If your win rate is low, then you need to have a bigger risk to reward ratio. Guys, like I tell you guys, that trading, this thing is like a cake. There's so many different ways that you can make your system profitable. If you find out that you're not always, maybe you win 3 out of every 10 trades, what do you need to do now? Now you need to make sure that you're trading with a minimum risk reward ratio of 1:3, because those 3 trades that you won out of 10 are going to push you back 2% profit. If your win rate is high, like maybe 50%, then you know that you can use a 1:2 risk reward ratio and still be profitable. If your win rate is more higher, maybe even 80, 90%, then you can use a 1:1 risk to reward ratio and still be profitable. So define your risk to reward ratio. Number 3, guys, what is my maximum risk exposure per trade? A bit redundant because we kind of did answer that, but this is specific risk management. So I guess you'll answer the question the exact same way. How will I determine the stop loss placement? This is question number 4 under our specific risk management. How will I determine the stop loss placement, and what's the general range of my stop loss orders? So whether you have a specific fixed stop loss amount, like I know some scalpers say that every trade I open, I'm gonna have a 10 pip stop loss, 20 pip target, and that's how they trade. In that way, their stop loss is defined. For people like me, we place stop losses based off structure. And so to say that every one of my stop losses is going to be 20 pips, that's ridiculous. That's stupid, because now we're changing things about how we're trading. So what works better is to have a range and tell yourself that if I'm scalping, then I expect my stop loss range to be in between 0 and 15 pips. If I'm day trading or swinging, then I expect my stop loss range to be in between 15 pips and 45 pips. And now you have a specific set of things that you're doing. If you ever look at a trade and maybe you're executing on the 1 hour and that stop loss is 46 pips, you know for a fact you're not going to take that trade, because why? That trade it goes against what's inside your system. You told yourself that you'll only have stop losses within this specific range. So 5, when will I stop trading? When will I stop trading? This question is so nice, and you guys are gonna have fun answering this question, because you'll realize that there's so many different things that can cause you to stop trading. A bad day can cause you to stop trading. A bad week can cause you to stop trading. One bad trade can cause you to stop trading. But nonetheless, you still need to define that and say that, for example, maybe if I'm down more than 2% on a day, that's when I'll stop trading. If I'm down more than 5% in a week, that's when I'll stop trading. Maybe if it's Tuesday, you already hit your -5. That's when you stop trading and you call it quits, and you come back with the market. You come back to the market next week with fresh eyes, with a fresh mind, nice, clear, and decisive. So when will you stop trading? Define that as well. I see some questions. Let's just go up. Okay, cool. I see. Hey, can you check AUD USD? We're not doing analysis in today's session. I've been practicing on USD CAD. Is it a good pair to trade on a live account for a beginner, or should I focus on a less volatile pair? I think USD CAD is absolutely perfect. AUD pairs, CAD pairs, CHF pairs, JPY pairs, NZD pairs, GBP pairs. Did I say JPY? Yes, I did say JPY. Those are good pairs to trade. Like if you're finding crosses that have those pairs involved, I feel like for beginners, when those pairs trend, they trend very nice and smoothly. So you can get a lot of market experience from especially USD CAD. Mr. Naked Eyes, what's good, man? What's up, Tremaine? Do you guys have a specific Chasers trading strategy, or any strategy is teachable at the Chasers? So I wouldn't call what we're doing a strategy. I'd like to call it a system, because what we have a specific set of concepts and a specific way we use those concepts. Because remember, anyone can trade support and resistance, but your method of execution on how you use support and resistance might differ. So we basically just have a system on how we use these concepts. Anyone can teach support and resistance, but how you're going to make support and resistance make money for you, that's now where the value is, I guess. Do you ever trade gold, and if so, which strategy are you using? I used to trade gold, and I still traded gold the exact same way I trade my currencies. There's nothing, no matter which pair, whether it's VIX, whether it's whatever, there's nothing that's different about how I'm trading these pairs. These pairs, I trade them all the exact same way. I'm not changing anything about my system, anything about my process. No, I have not. Just enlighten us, Lizanne. Brah. Okay, cool. I don't trust veracity. They freeze the market around New York session. So with that thing about Veracity and them freezing markets, so I'm sure you guys saw that on the 1st of September, all of you guys that use Veracity weren't able to log into your Veracity. And the reason being you had to delete your MT4 and do all those things. And the reason being is because they upgraded their servers. They didn't have, or they didn't prepare for the type of volume that they're experiencing now. And so they compensated for it. So as much as you don't trust them, they're still moving forward. They're still doing the things to be done. They've compensated. Whoever's still using them, they'll have a smooth ride. So business as usual at the end of the day. Um, zoomed in in too close because I have to read, guys. I don't know if you guys know that I can't see properly, so I have to come in close to see. Shout out to Lisiba, tell him get well soon. Most def, man, most def. What causes one to lose constantly on in forex, but he or she understands the dynamics and the basics of forex? It could be one of two things. Mainly, first of all, I'd say it's your psychology, because two people can enter the same trade, same stop loss, same take profit, but just the way that they manage and make decisions on that trade will be different based off their psychology. Are you making decisions off how you feel? Are you making decisions based off the fact that you saw $2 and you've never seen $2 before? Now you close because you're excited. Are you making those types of decisions, or are all of your decisions backed up by reason and logic? If you back up all of your decisions by reason and logic, you'll have a much better place to stand. I mean, or rather, a much better place to work forward from, because now you'll know that, okay, because I'm using reason and logic, all of my decisions are objective. I can see them on the chart. And because I can see them on the chart, that means that there has to be something that I'm doing, not about what I'm seeing, because everything that I'm seeing is the same. But there has to be something different, maybe, about how I'm understanding what I'm seeing, or whatever the case is. So I guess it just either depends, could either be your psychology, or it could be just the way you approach your process. Um, okay, cool. That just means that my PC has died. Sorry about that, guys. I'm just trying to make sure my PC switches on, just so that my phone keeps charging as well. What was the last question that we had? You have a system. I have a process, dude. That word strategy is too overused and too vague. I have a process. I have a process that I follow, and I guess a method to that process. You risk 30% each trade to grow a $20 account. I've never heard of that. I've never heard of that. Got in late. Is there a way I'll be able to access this video again? Yes, it will be uploaded to YouTube after the video. I know you're not always going to analyze, but what are you looking at today? I think we'll answer that after the session. You must search it up and let me know. Okay, cool. No problems, Lazan. Hey, bro, how do you deal with traders block? That situation where you don't understand anything in the market, you just see charts going up and down. It happens to everyone, guys. It happens to everyone. And all I do is that if I can't objectively see something on the chart, then I'm not going to trade it, because whatever I'm trading, because I can't see it, it means that I'm seeing something else. Maybe I'm seeing the emotion, maybe I'm seeing the whatever, but I'm not seeing something objective on the chart. So yeah, that's a shortcut to killing your psychology, guys. Just wait for stuff that you can see. If you can't see it on the chart, then you shouldn't be making a decision about it. I think let's get into the last question, and then we'll. Okay, cool. We're going into general money management. I've been in the market for 2 years, but what keeps on killing me are the entries. Any advice? So I'm just checking the time, guys, just to make sure that we don't overshoot our time. So with regards to entries, dude, I feel like what would most help you is backtesting. Because you've gotten it down and you realize that the entries are the part of your element that you just don't have down together. So go back and backtest your entries, because backtesting gives you that time to get the market experience, but without the risk. So go back and backtest, dude, and just get your eyes used to identifying the types of entries that you use, identifying maybe nature's theory on what's happening just before you take that entry. How is the market reacting to that level, or all those types of things, and get used to the nature of the pairs that you're trading, because that's another thing that helps. Maybe you just learned about double tops and you're just deciding to trade double tops everywhere. And obviously, double top on AJ doesn't look like a double top on AU, as much as they're almost to the pip correlated, as much as they like that. The double tops don't look the same, and so the nature of a pair will differ the way the pair presents whatever it's presenting to you. So just backtest your entries, dude. That's simple, guys. Let's get on to general money management, then I'll go back into the questions and just see what you guys are asking. So Under general money management, guys, question number one is how do I handle large drawdowns and large profits? What are you going to do after you take a big loss? Are you going to keep trading? Are you going to go back and revenge? Or are you going to take a break, take a chill pill? What are you going to do after you get a big win? Are you going to keep trading feeling like you're on top of the world? Because I know you guys know what that's done. After you win a nice trade and you go back in thinking you got it all together, the market sucks back whatever it gave you. So how are you going to handle large profits and large drawdowns? Define that as well for yourself so that when you do experience these things, you know exactly how you should be reacting towards them. Or rather, let me not say react, let me say respond. Because the reaction is just there. A response is something that's thought about, something that's went through a process first. So that's all this the purpose of this is for. So number two, guys, how will I oh, okay, cool. How will my money management change as my account capital changes? If you're risking, like, for example, a set percentage, then obviously, if your account was at 5,000, now it's at 6,000, 1% of 5,000 is what? $50. Yo, that took a while. Yes, it's $50. And then 1% of 6,000 is obviously $60. So are you going to change your management or rather your money management as your account size is changing? If your account is dropping in size, what are you doing to your lot sizes? What are you doing to your risk? Define that as well. Number three, guys, how will I secure profits on winning trades? Whether you're going to use stop losses, whether you're going to exit using multiple take profit areas, define what you're going to do. So your process, guys. How will I determine my position size for trades and scale in trades? So generally when I scale in, I don't scale in with the same type of risk that I entered my initial trade. So if I entered initially with 1%, my scale ins are probably going to be 0.5% risk or whatever the case is. So define what is your risk for your initial entry and as well as scale ins. What are you going to do or how are you going to take those scale ins? So guys, next element is our exit strategy. So for our exit strategy, guys, number one, for losing trades, will I exit before my stop loss is hit? Will you ever exit a losing trade before your stop loss is hit? If your answer is yes, define what will allow you to exit that trade before your stop loss is hit. Whether it takes price to impulse to your stop loss, whether it takes price to consolidate for 6 hours at your entry, whether it takes whatever, define it. Because if you leave it up to discretion, you're going to make a whole lot of crap decisions. Decisions that you will obviously later regret and say, oh, I should have held, oh, I should have done this. You guys know the story. So define. For losing trades, guys, what will allow me to close out a position before it closes at stop loss or your take profit? So sorry, excuse me, guys. You know, the cough is killing me. The cough is killing me. But yeah, what will allow you to close out your position before it closes at your stop loss or your TP? For winning trades, guys, will you ever exit before your take profit is hit? If your answer is yes, determine whether you're going to just exit, whether you're going to what, whether you're going to have multiple take profit areas, whether if price impulses in your area, that's you gone. Define it, guys. Define it. So number four, guys, for your winning trades, what will allow you to exit completely? Maybe you can exit completely if price is consolidated around your final TP for 6 hours or whatever the case is. Just define, will you ever close your trade before it hits TP? Define the reasons that will give you that opportunity to close your trade before TP. For winning trades, what will allow you to close the trade partially? So obviously we can exit through partial multiple take profit areas, or maybe we can partial out as price gets to important key levels of structure, as price moves up the percentages. Maybe when we 1% in profit, we partial out, whatever the case is. Now we're getting to the part that everyone loves, guys. Our trading strategy, setups, and entries. Excuse me. Number one, guys, what is my primary trading strategy? What is it that you are doing? When you say that I'm a trader, what are you doing? I can tell you what I'm doing. I'm trading corrective structures only, waiting for that next impulsive move. That's all I'm doing. Corrective structures, waiting for the impulsive move. What is my primary trading strategy? If you haven't defined and simplified your process to that point, then maybe you need to look at it again and go back and reanalyze. What are you doing? When you say that I'm buying at higher lows, I'm trading a break and retest, what are you actually doing so that you define what your primary trading strategy is? Number two, guys, what are my trading setups? So do you wait for those double tops, head and shoulders, ascending structures, descending structures, inverses, break and retest, I don't know what else there is. But Nonetheless, define it. Number 3, guys, how will you find your trading setups? Are you going to be maybe looking at all the pairs and then isolating your top setups for the week or whatever the case is? How will you find those setups? Number 4, guys, what is my entry criteria? Are you waiting for example, like me, price to establish a level of structure, push away from that level of structure, come back to that level of structure, show me rejections and momentum shift away from that level of structure, and then we enter? What is your entry criteria? Are you waiting for candlesticks? Which candlesticks are you waiting for? That's an entry criteria. Define it all. What are you using to enter? If you're using structures, define that. If you're using break and retest, define that. If you're using impulsive breaks and closes outside of structure, define that. Next element of our trading plan, guys, is what we're going to do after the market closes. So this is our after the market closes section. So question number 1 is, have I recorded today's trades? Have you been through all of the trades that you're meant to record for the day? So this makes you go back to your journaling, whatever, all of that nice good stuff. Number 2, have I completed my trading journal? So obviously you record and then you complete your trading journal by writing down all of your emotional stuffs and whatever. Whether you do that daily or you do that weekly like I do, doesn't really matter as long as you are doing it, because there's so much to learn about yourself and your processes by looking back and seeing, oh crap, Euro USD was going up, I thought it was a buy, but meantime it was coming into resistance, and because I thought it was a buy so strongly, I didn't notice this resistance. And now you can go back and add something inside your trading plan that says, maybe if market is giving me a continuation structure, if I'm looking to buy at a resistance, even though there's a continuation structure, I'll look for maybe a reduced risk entry or something else of the nature. So yeah, wow, is this section that short? After the market closes, have you recorded today's trades and have you completed your trading journal? That's about it, guys. I guess, is this the last part? It is the last part, guys. So the last part of our trading plan is discipline, because this trading plan you need to hold yourself accountable to this trading plan. So number 1, guys, is what are my promises to yourself? Are your promises to yourself that you'll be consistent with this trading plan, that you will fill it out, that you will take 2 minutes every day to fill out one question within your trading plan? Are your promises to yourself that you're going to be detailed as possible within your trading plan? Are your promises that you're going to be faithful to the trading plan, whatever your promises are to yourself? Include some discipline. What are you disciplining yourself to do with this trading plan? So number 2, guys, what is my commitment to back testing and forward testing? Because remember, learning never stops. Even if you are whoever, even if you're, who can I think of? Even if you're, I almost said Jeff Bezos. Even if you're Warren Buffett, you need to still keep learning. Either whether you're learning through back testing or you're learning through forward testing, hold yourself accountable. Hold yourself accountable to get that market experience. Hold yourself accountable, guys. You won't regret it. Being in the markets, whether it's just back testing, whether it's live trading, whether it's whatever, you guys are getting so much value, and the market is the ultimate teacher. The best teacher that there is the market herself. Number 3, guys, what questions should I ask myself after winning a trade? Whether you must ask yourself questions like, are you going to be re-entering? Are you going to be taking a break? Whatever. What questions should you ask yourself after losing a trade? Whether you should be asking yourself questions of, are you going to revenge trade, or whatever the case is, are you going to re-enter? How are you going to manage your risk after you lost the trade? What are you going to question yourself after you lose a trade? Number 5, guys, what steps do I take to learn more? Because like we said, learning never stops. Whether you commit yourself every day to go and spend 10 minutes on YouTube and watch some YouTube video, or whether you're going to read a book, always surround yourself around trading. Even if I would say refine who you're listening to, because that also does influence your trading. So listen to just a couple of people, guys. People that speak what you like, people that speak what you understand, people that speak something that resonates with you. Continuously listen to those people and be around, I guess, just maybe their content or their whatever. And eventually you'll start to fall into the structures that they use. You'll start to unconsciously understand what they're doing. And you, I was asking Funny Lucky the other day, the way that he draws trend lines, the way that he draws support and resistance, the way that he looks for candlestick confirmations. Does he ever remember a point in his career where all of a sudden he stopped drawing trend lines from the bodies and now started drawing it on the wicks? You don't realize an exact point. And so all of that stuff starts in your subconscious first. And then eventually you just realize, okay, I've been doing it like this for so long. You even know in your mind, okay, that I used to do it differently and now I do it like this. But you don't know where's the exact change. And that's because things start in the subconscious. And if you constantly listen to these people and surround yourself with figures that are going to positively impact you, you eventually start to think like them. from behind the scenes first. But nonetheless, guys, the final page within our trading plan is our golden trading rules. And these are rules, guys, that we should at least look at every day if we need to, at least look at them every week if we need to, but just to refine and come back to where you're supposed to be. So golden rule number one, guys, is I'm gonna follow my written trading plan. Golden rule number one. So you first commit yourself to filling it out and getting it done. Golden rule number one is that everything that you're going to do concerning trading is coming out of this book here. Number two, guys, keep learning on a daily basis, because learning never stops no matter how far you think you are. Learning never stops. Number three, guys, cut losses short, let profits run. We know that song. Number four, protect and preserve my capital at all costs, guys. That's your job, to protect and preserve your capital. If you approach, for example, a prop firm, or a private funder, or whoever, they're going to want to know. They're going to ask you, is their capital protected? And if you don't have a risk management plan, obviously you don't have any account. You don't have nothing to account for that this capital is protected. So protect and preserve that capital at all costs. Trade what I see. Number five, trade what I see, not what I think. Number six, guys, never revenge our losses. Number seven, always keep records. Whether you're taking simple screenshots, or whether you're journaling, or whether you're whatever, always keep a record of what you're doing, guys, because you're gonna gift yourself so much when you look at those records that you were doing 2 months ago, and you realize how much you've evolved. You'll feel so good about yourself. If you're taking videos, recording your analysis, or whatever the case is, listen to the terminology that you use now compared to back in the past, and see your growth. Always keep records, guys. Number eight, keep it simple and professional. And this is part of the reason why we have a trading plan. Trading plan is there to help us keep things simple and professional. We need to have, there's no business that operates without a plan. But here traders think that they can just come and press buy and sell. It's so sad, guys, so sad. Number nine, be an above average trader. So that's what all of us are striving towards. We want to be an above average trader. We want to be in that 1%. We don't want to be like everyone else that we're seeing, everyone else that we're following. Even though I have a mentor, I want to be better than my mentor. Even though I'm learning from whoever, I want to be better than whoever I'm learning from. And that's how our minds should be, to overshadow whoever you are learning from. And number 10, guys, believe in my processes. So everything that is on your trading plan, guys, sorry about that, guys. For Tremaine, I wouldn't like that. I don't know why are they such a... Sorry about that, guys. Mamba came into the building. Our golden rule number 10, guys, is that we need to believe in ourselves and our processes, because who else are you expecting to execute for you? Yourself. And if you don't believe in yourself, and you don't have that confidence, and you don't have that whatever, you need to start cultivating it now. Pretend like you are the best trader that you know. And every time you execute a trade, believe in yourself the exact same way you believe in whoever you're getting signals from, whoever you're, when you that, because when you're taking your own positions, you use 0.01, but meantime when you get a signal, you use 0.10, because you have such immense belief in this person that you're taking a signal from. And it should be the opposite way around. You should believe in yourself more than you believe in anyone or any other thing else. Guys, let's just go into the questions. I think with regards to our trading plan, we're just about done, guys. So I think I'll just open up for those open-ended questions, and then we'll call it a session, guys. Let me just check the chats. Your trader's block is familiar. It gets to me nowadays from Eva. Ish. How do you overcome emotions? This is your first step in overcoming emotions. If you don't have a plan, if you don't have a system, then you're going to make decisions based off those emotions. If you have a plan, you have a system, then your decisions shift from being discretionary to being systematic. This is the first step, guys. The first step. Bro, how do you determine an average daily range of the pair in order to pick out which pairs you want to trade? Just use the ATR. Go and search by your indicators, the ATR, and then go to a daily chart and just see what's the average true range of your pair on a daily. That's how you'll get that daily range. Since there's a 50% off special until the 20th, so it means it's the subscriptions end next month on the 20th. Um, or okay, I don't really 100% understand the question, but I'll answer it nonetheless. So the 50% special is just for your first month off. So your first month is at 50%, and obviously your next month your subscription is back to normal again. So you can subscribe and then cancel obviously before your next cycle starts. Awes Tremaine, please share your story before consistency, how you managed to stay in the game despite the losses. I think I was just crazy, dude. I think I was just crazy. Like I'm telling you guys, rule number 10, believe in yourself more than anything else. I just believed in what I was doing. Last year, this time, I was unemployed. Now, I'm reviewing other people's CVs. That's how life is. I had no idea which direction life was going to go. All I needed to do for myself was to be prepared. When the opportunity did present itself, be prepared. Learn as much as I can. Do this, do that, do that, do that. That whether the opportunity comes in terms of, because I didn't have the money to trade and to fund and to whatever, whether the opportunity came in terms of getting money or whether the opportunity came like this opportunity here, working with the chasers, I had to be prepared. So it was still all on me. And in the end, I had to be prepared. And when the opportunity did arise, I obviously had to show up. So yeah, dude, I guess long story short on my own story is that I was just prepared, dude. I have crazy dreams and I'm just working towards those dreams. I have no idea how I'm gonna get there, how things are gonna change, but I understand that life works on some type of system that we can think about it like the path of least resistance. Path of least resistance, that's where energy is going to flow. If you pour water on the ground and you see the pattern that the water makes, the water is not flowing because it's being forced in any way. The water is flowing because of the path of least resistance. It's just flowing wherever there's least resistance. If there's more resistance here, you'll find the water going this way. So that's exactly how life is. All I need to be is I just need to be prepared, know where I'm going, because that's the definition of success by Earl Nightingale. That success is a successful person is anyone that has a worthy ideal and they're moving towards it. Someone that's in grade 5 that knows that they're working and studying towards passing in grade 6. As long as they have a vision and they have a method of how they're getting there, that's a success. That's purely a success. Um, Otherwise, let's see. Please share your story. Aware that was that. Is there a difference between 0 to 6 figures and the ultimate transformation guide? So I have not ever been in 0 to 6 figures and I've never ever seen what's in 0 to 6 figures, dude. So I can't answer your question accurately. But 0 to 6 figures isn't a product anymore. Um, any pairs that you can advise to trade and grow an account? AUD pairs, JPY pairs, CAD pairs, CHF pairs, NZD pairs, GBP pairs. Find your own cross on how you're gonna mix and match, because I can say trade AUD USD, but because you're an individual and you're your own unique person, you might not see AUD USD the same way I see AUD USD. Maybe to you AUD USD looks like it's just stuck in 6 month chop. So just find the pairs that you are most comfortable with, but try out of those pairs. Appreciate the gems you're dropping our wares. Way boss, are you gonna go live with us at 3:30? Not today. I would like to ask when I wait. I would like to ask that when I should wait for a stop loss to hit take profit. What? So I can get out of a position. I'm not sure exactly the English that you're asking there, though. What I can say is that just define. If you're waiting for stop loss, wait for stop loss or take profit. If you're going to close in between, have something that makes you close in between. Whether you can say that if price consolidates for 6 hours after I entered, then I'm gonna close or I'm gonna do whatever. Just have your things defined, dude. Just have your things defined. Still new to the game. How to backtest? Oh, that's such a far out question. Does Forex Chasers have any vacancies at the moment? No, we don't. But the plan is to scale, obviously. And just like I told you guys, add the work while no one is looking. Do the things to be done while no one is looking, so that when the opportunity does present itself, first of all, your name is known because you've been doing the work before your efforts were even seen. And second of all, you're prepared for the opportunity that's presenting itself. That's my PC once again. Let's just switch it on to make sure my phone is charging. Okay, cool. It looks like my PC is finally 100% dead. So we'll call it a session, guys. Backtesting helps. I agree. Powerful words. Thank you very much. Always. trading system, one structure and order flow, weekly, daily, for our 2 point of interest. On 1 hour, 15 minutes, intra confirmations, candlestick patterns, break of structure, trade Wyckoff, and on the 5 minute and M1. I see Forex Naked Eyes put his whole system there for us, guys. So go and stock his system, screenshot his system, and now you know exactly what he's doing. How much is your 3.0 guidebook? So I think it should be $20, and the guidebook does come with the study guide. It does also come with this trading plan and the trading plan webinar. So definitely go and have a look at it, guys. Do you know BTMM? Oh, Beat the Market Maker. Yeah, I know those people. Don't really follow them much, but I am familiar with them. Eva saying thank you so much, T. We'll always leave with something ours. Thanks so much, Eva. Guys, appreciate you guys for being with me until the end of the session. We will see each other, guys. If you guys caught the session maybe halfway, somewhere in the middle, or you late, or you want a review, we're gonna upload the session straight after this. So just wait for it, guys. Thanks so much, guys. I will see you guys later.